In the Jewish tradition, the idea is that God created rest and peace and tranquility on the seventh day. That it's not a day of emptiness. It's actually a day where something that God created already exists and we can enter into it if we choose. I think that's fantastic. To think that there's been something created for me that I can walk into and find ways to participate in. But, it begins with God. Then when God called a people to himself, God gave them the gift of Sabbath, and it was a gift to them because it was a sign, symbol, and the lived reality of their freedom and their liberation from oppression. Then he did make it one of the 10 commandments. It is the fourth commandment. And I think even raising the question, how have we as Christians gotten away with believing that one of the 10 commandments got kicked to the curb? I don't know how we do that theologically. I haven't seen any evidence that God removed the fourth commandment. So we might need to grapple at that level. And then people might say, well, Jesus didn't teach about it. It's just a Jewish thing. And I want to say, no, he didn't teach about it because he was practicing it. It was just assumed. He was a practicing Jew. He and his disciples practiced the Sabbath. That's clear to us in the New Testament. But Jesus did reframe the Sabbath to sort of rescue it from the legalism that it had fallen into within the Jewish tradition, And he said very, very clearly, man was not made for the Sabbath, but Sabbath was made for man or humankind. So he's saying it was it was made for us. He's not taking it back. And then, of course, all the way through the book of Hebrews, where Hebrews 4 talks about the fact that the rest of God is still available to us as God's children, and that when we refuse God's rest, we are rebellious children. We are being disobedient. So I don't know. You might want to wait to pull out those big guns, but if you have to, there they are.
Ruth has you ready. There you go.
Yeah, she does, right there.
No, I'm
keep that in your back pocket unless you need it.
Yeah, what pages is that on the book?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more finance, governance, and fundraising news and insights for your church or ministry.